Ta-Nehisi Coates is a renowned author, journalist, and his writings on race in America have earned him a MacArthur Fellowship, the so-called Genius Grant, in fact. And this week, he's sharing his genius in a whole new way, turning his award-winning book, Between the World and Me, into a powerful film. I had the opportunity to sit down and talk to him about that and his hope for anyone who watches it.
So far, it's pretty fascinating. I've been trying to get
For a writer who spends his time studying the scars in America's soul, a year burdened by a global pandemic, a heated presidential campaign, and a racial reckoning has provided almost too much material. What has all of this, all that's happened this year, what has it done for your writing?
Oh, I'm probably overflowing,
Published in 2015, Between the World and Me is a book-length letter to Coates' then 15-year-old son about growing up black in America. The book has been recommended by President Obama, and Nobel Prize winner Toni Morrison called it required reading.
Struggle for the memory of your ancestors.
Now, the movie version is set to premiere on HBO. It's beautiful, if not masterful. What do you want people who watch it to take away from it?
I want them to be haunted by the work. By which I mean, I don't want them to look at it and say, wow, that was really cool, and then, forget about it. I want them to watch it, think about it, go to sleep thinking about it, wake up thinking about it.
But what about its impact now? Do you think that collectively we are perhaps at least more aware of a lot of the things that you wrote about?
I like to think so, but the history of this country is that there are moments of opening where the larger company is more aware and there's a backlash and that opening quickly shuts. Private life.
Coates has strong opinions, but he avoids voicing them on social media. Why are you not visible on social media?
What I have to give are ideas, notions that take a lot of time to cook.
Yeah.
That have to marinate. Something like Twitter is death for me.
And there's also no space for nuance.
But I really think the rapidity of it, you know what I mean? I think that's I shouldn't be able to automatically broadcast everything I'm thinking. I shouldn't even have the power to do that.
The role of Howard in your life is one of the central themes, and how it shaped and molded you, not even just as a writer and thinker, but as a man.
Right.
And now we have a vice president-elect who graduated from an HBCU. What is the importance, what is the significance of that to you?
When you live in a country that is perhaps constantly sending you messages that are not positive about your intellect, about how you look, about how you talk, 4 years of somebody telling you you're okay. And not only are you okay, you're actually kind of great. Like, you need that. I needed that. I'm not surprised that, your first vice president, to say nothing of your first, not just your first black vice president, but your first woman who's a vice president came from Howard. That doesn't surprise me at all.
We also talked about the sudden death of his friend and fellow Howard alum, Chadwick Boseman.
Chad was an incredible actor.
Yeah.
And it was the perfect choice for Black Panther. Like, couldn't have been anybody but him. It's not a mistake that he played all these iconic roles. But I know for a fact he has so much more to give, beyond, being an actor, as an artist. So I'm mostly sad for the rest of the world that folks publicly didn't get to see that.
Coates has shown his own range. Professor, journalist, fiction, writer, screenplay, right? What haven't you done that you want to do now? What's left?
But almost everything you named, it's all writing. Even the professor is teaching writing. It's only one thing actually in all of that. Yeah. It's just one thing. I'm not an actor. I'm not going to do that.
I saw you.
Nah, brother. You gotta stay in your lane. You know what I mean? I'm a writer. That's what I do.
He seems so humble.
He is.
Yet has such an impact on anyone who's read him.
He is completely self-aware. He doesn't buy into his own hype, and he is a writer, but one of the greatest writers of our time right now. Between the World and Me, it premieres Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern on HBO and HBO Max. And by the way, Coates' novel, The Water Dancer, that's also out in paperback this week, and it's been announced that he is going to turn that into a movie as well. He's working on the screenplay for that. So.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
Yeah, so much more than just a writer.
Yes, so much more.
Absolutely.